Hi everyone, Nix from Triple E. So I'm going to show you how to do what they call technically a hyperpressive, and it's also in yoga called Uddiyana Bandha. If you search on internet, you'll find it also, it's called vacuums, suctions, abdominal suctions, hollowing of the stomach. So there's quite a lot of names for this action. Basically, what you're doing is you're relaxing your abdominal muscles so they don't obstruct the actual action the diaphragm is trying to do, or what it's doing. So what happens is your diaphragm, when you close off your airways, and because you don't have any air in your lungs, your diaphragm pulls up, and with that pulling up, it takes all the organs, everything with it. Okay, so the diaphragm actually covers, when you follow with your fingers from your sternum where it joins, and you follow your rib cage all along there up to your ribs down here. So it makes this lining above your stomach and your organs, between that and your lungs and your heart. So it actually protects the most vital organs, being your heart and your lungs, and it's very strong. It's so strong that all of the intestines, all of the rest of the organs, it just literally pulls it up. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do always, well, it's not a necessity, because I can right now with warming up, I can do an abdominal suction, I can do a hyperpressive. But it is easier, especially if you're beginning, if you have never done it before, then it's a lot easier if you warm up your rib cage, your thorax, your diaphragm, and you can do that from breathing deep and regular. Okay, so one thing we need to keep in mind, which is rather important to me, is your posture. So from having a good posture, you can make it easier for your body to do the hyperpressive, right? And you'll notice it. So have a look at my rib cage at the moment. So at the moment, I'm going to push my abs in. I'm going to actually push my lower back into the ground, and you can see that. So my hip bone's here, and the lower ribs are here, right? So I'm going to keep my fingers there, flat on my body, so I can't move them. So that's rib cage there, okay, and it's there. So between my thumb and my forefinger. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, that little hollow that you have in your lower back, everybody has that. We have like this little natural hollow. We're not arching our back, but I'm just not pushing everything in. So I'm just going to wiggle my bum to liberate and to have, and look what happens to the chest area. So there's the previous space that I have, and my ribs are not there anymore. They're up here now. That's quite a lot of space that I've just created. And look at these ribs, they're standing up, creating more space so that I can breathe in my rib cage and my chest area. Okay, so it's just common sense basically that it's going to make it easier to breathe, right? So what I also do is I have my feet separated, my knees separated, just as a support system, because some of the training, some of the exercises we actually lift up as well, so it's just the beginning to get used to it. Okay, so from here, also try not to pinch and to pinch your neck. So try and keep your shoulders away from your ears. So we want to create a nice long neck. Good posture promotes good breathing, promotes everything good in life. Okay, so from here we're going to learn to breathe. So what we do normally, and the better way to actually warm up your thorax and your diaphragm, is to breathe in 4 counts, and then hold for a second or two, and then breathe out very slowly in about 5 or 6 counts. So we're always breathing out a lot slower than we're breathing in. And many times if you find it difficult, because we're so used to, especially for you guys that's doing a lot of yoga, like the vinyasa yoga, or Pilates exercises, or you're used to doing a lot of ab exercises. If you find it difficult to do the vacuum, then instead of breathing out, allow the air to flow over your bottom lip. So you can feel the hot air flowing out over your bottom lip until it naturally stops. So we're not actually pushing the air out. And one way to avoid us from pushing the air out is to actually open our mouth as if you want to draw a smiley face in your window, right? So instead of, because look what happens with your abs when you actually go, you're actually using your abdominal muscles. We don't want to do that. We want to make it easier for our diaphragm to work. So what I'm going to do instead is breathe in through my nose. Look at how the thorax expands. Hold for a second, and when I breathe out, I just let the air flow out. I'm not actually using my abdominals. The air is literally just very regularly just flowing out on its own, and I can feel the heat of my own breath on my bottom lip. So keep your mouth nice and open, and it also relaxes your jaw. We're clenching our jaws a lot. So there's a lot of stuff going on here with one simple action or two simple actions. Okay, so let's try that a couple of times. So actually put your hands on your rib cage, or grab your rib cage and just notice how much you're moving and if you're actually moving your rib cage. Let's breathe in a couple of times. So breathe in 4. Hold, breathe out, or let the air flow out. Hold at the bottom, breathe in to your full capacity. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Use the rhythm of the clock. Breathe in. Breathe out. Put your hand in your chest. Notice if your chest is rising and falling. That's also important. So now we've worked here. Now we're going to see if we're working here. So put the other hand where the two curvatures are on the bottom, so you can still feel the expansion going, right? And I want you guys to really breathe in until you actually feel the pressure of the breath against your sternum. So breathe in. Breathe out. And in. Flow out. Hold. Lock your airways. And let your abs just sink to the floor. See what happens when you actually just let your abs, you close your airways. It's actually a natural action that your abs wants to drop down. I'm not sucking it in yet. I'm not actually doing the pulling action. I'm just closing my airways, both in my mouth and my nose, and then I'm just allowing my abs to relax. Everything in my abdomen relaxes, and it naturally just drops down. So let's try that again. Breathe in. Let the air flow out. Close your airways and relax your abdomen. Breathe in and breathe out. So if you can do that, then you're ready to do the actual vacuum. If you can't get the hang of that, pinch your nose and try it again. So now let's try and do an actual vacuum. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to breathe in, hold, let the air flow out, hold, close our airways, let the abdomen fall down, like kind of flop down to the floor, and then think, pull up. So you're actually just going to not contract your abdominals. You're just literally going to try and inhale, but you're preventing yourself from inhaling. Okay, like you're underneath the water and you want to inhale, and that's a good exercise to do as well. So let's breathe in. Let the air flow out. Close your airways or pinch your nose. Do you see the difference there? There was a difference between letting my abdomen flop down and then pulling it up. You can try that a couple of times and see how that works for you. And if you have difficulty actually feeling what happens, give me a like, drop me a comment, and you and I can work together. I can leave you some comments on how you can actually practice it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but it's a mental activity as well. Just imagine you're trying to open your rib cage. Sometimes that happens for some people. So I'd really like to know how you guys find this, and it is actually a good thing. Like I have the alarm that went off, and that's a good slow rhythm for you to follow for the breathing. So the slower you try and do it in the beginning, the easier it's going to get to actually do that. Give me a like, you guys, and I really would like to hear your comments on this. Have a good day.